your documentary, The Great Escape on Alderney, is still my most amazing, cherished sort of memory of Alderney. You've
Yeah,
got this
yeah,
incredible music. Ray Parkin was one of the
yeah,
narrators.
yeah.
Eliza Bereford. If anyone's not seen that documentary, by the way, it's on YouTube, on my dad's YouTube channel, The Great Escape
Yeah.
Alderney. And it's got that lovely music that do 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 do
Yes.
do 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 do. And
Yeah.
you look at Alderney back then, and
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's just the cameras make it all look a little bit
Well, it
more
is. I
magical.
mean, if I dare maybe bring in a little bit of politics in that, because the idea of that film was to tie it in with the tourist for a tourist promotional video for Alderney, and at the time. Well, I don't want to get too political, but it had to go to a committee who in turn had to say it's got to go out to tender, right? So I
But
said,
you're
well,
the only video guy on the
and I
island.
said, well, I'm making this for nothing. No, it's got to go out to tender. And the chair of the tourist committee at the time had a little word with me, doesn't matter who he was, and said to me, "Oh, can you have a look at this, please?" And I looked at this piece of paper, and it was from a production company in Guernsey, offering to make the same promotional video for £5,000. And I went, "Well, that's not a bad price for a half-hour program, but I can do it for nothing."
Yeah.
And so what? The committee went to the other. Yes,
Really? And where's
and
that video these days?
it never materialized. I went ahead with mine,
Damn
and
right you
but
did.
the Guernsey company then phoned me up one day and said, "Are you Ronnie Kelly?" I said, "Yeah, yeah. We understand you've got lots of footage of Alderney," and I said, "I certainly do. Is there any chance?" And I went
Wow.
off.
It's the same story, isn't it? I mean,
And
we're not going to get bogged into the politics because
no,
I'm
no.
still struggling today, Dad.
Yes, I
Abby,
know. Well,
but
you're going through the same thing as I did,
it's
so it doesn't
bureaucracy.
matter. You just
It's
get on and do your own thing.
that's it.
Just get
That's
on
it.
and do your own.
Yeah.
Now, you've taken after me in terms of media and filming and so on. And I remember you as a little nipper, a 5, 6 year old, sitting in my edit suite in London. Well, sometimes very late at night, and you just love fiddling with the knobs and all that sort of stuff. And what, but of course, different to what you guys are doing now. We had huge, big cameras, as you know, huge, big equipment, 2-inch rolling tape, and all this sort of thing. Whereas you guys now got digital all over the place. So
Well,
yeah,
I mean, it's interesting because I remember growing up seeing you doing everything. You'd be
mm,
writing it, you'd be producing it, you'd be editing it. And then when I went to film school, they taught me about the industry and how, this person does this job, this, and I just kept thinking, why don't you just do the whole thing?
yeah,
And
yeah,
it
yeah,
really is,
yeah.
it's weird how, and now of course the film industry is going through its
Well,
demise.
ironically, I went on a BBC course initially, and that was exactly the problem. So I wanted to learn about everything. I wanted to learn about lighting, sound, every aspect of television production. And so the first week, I was at grips, and I said, "Well, what's that? Oh no, you just carry this tripod, nothing else. So you're going to teach me how to do this?" And that took a week. And I'm just carrying a tripod, and I thought, "Oh, saw this, I'm
Yeah.
away."
Well, that's how it was. And
Yeah,
if you look at
yeah,
YouTubers these days, content creators, people
yeah,
do the whole thing
yeah,
themselves. Dad, I've got this amazing photograph here, which I'm gonna hold up for the camera, see if and for anyone listening to this is a picture of my old man carrying what looks like a big camera. It's hard to tell really. Dad, tell me about this photograph. What?
Well, this was for a video magazine at the time. In those days, there was a lot of video magazines kicking around, and this particular video magazine had a competition for a short video, and I won the competition with a little rock band, which I squeezed into my studio in northwest London, and made a nice little video for them, and
And you got
that
yourself a camera for it.
and that won.
And is that the camera that you were awarded?
Yeah, yes, yes, that was a camera I was
Well, and
awarded.
on the back of it, it's really funny. It says Ronnie Cairnduff on the right, winner of the 1983 Video World Competition,
Yes.
receives first prize of the complete top of the range Sony home movie kit from John Locke, head of public relations at Sony. Sony, if you are listening to this and you'd like to sponsor
Yep.
this podcast, please reach out. It's amazing, Dad. That's
Well,
such a great memory.
this was really before I'd started uh, big time into, and that's what I wanted to do. And my little company at the time was called Videotech One, and I worked on the basis that you rehearse everything and take one take, not hundreds and hundreds of takes. And then I started to get into the corporate thing. I'll tell you a little story about a huge company called Ladbrokes, which you might have heard of,
Oh, you mean the betting
the
guys?
betting guys. And I just organized my new little studio, which was a front room in a flat at one stage. And anyway, turned it into a studio, put a big cyc around and lights up and all the rest of it. And so one of the first corporate clients I had was going to be Ladbrokes. And they said, well, come along and discuss what they wanted. And it was a training film about safety and their branches and all the rest of it. And the one thing they wanted, and a lot of people know this name, they wanted Gordon Honeycomb for the voiceover. Now, Gordon Honeycomb was a huge, big name in news reading with the BBC or whatever. And I said, "Oh, crikey, how am I going to get going on it?" Oh, I said, "Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Yeah, of course, yes, yes, we do all that." So we have the meeting, and I'm sitting in my office with the MD and somebody else, and a younger guy who was obviously just along for the ride, whatever. And during the course of this conversation, this younger guy said that, oh, he said he loved the studio and all the rest of it. I've just bought a new camera, he said. And I went, oh, really? And he said, yes, a JVC KY 1900. And I went, crikey, that's even better than what I've got in my little studio. And he's got all the kit. And he said to his bosses, well, maybe I could help Ronnie. And they went, no, 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 no. This is a professional operation. And I'm going, yes, please.
Ah.
Anyway, I did borrow his camera. I did borrow his camera. And I made the training film. And I got Gordon Honeycomb. And that was it. That was my first into big corporates.
I
And
love that.
then it went bananas and big, big clients, Marks and Spencer's, CAA, BA. Oh, I did tons and tons of corporate.